What a horrible story this morning to tell you about in San Antonio. At least 9 people dead, trapped inside a tractor trailer, sweltering in 100-degree temperature. Police calling it an immigrant smuggling attempt. Tammy?
Oh, Kevin, a vigil was held for the 9 victims who died inside of that tractor trailer in Texas. Dozens of mourners and members of an immigrant advocacy group gathered outside of the San Fernando Cathedral in San Antonio, Texas yesterday to remember those found dead inside a sweltering big rig in a Walmart parking lot on Saturday morning. CNN's Kristen Holmes is in San Antonio with the latest.
A horrifying scene in a San Antonio Walmart parking lot. Law enforcement officials discovering multiple people dead and dozens struggling to stay alive in the back of a sweltering hot semi-truck.
We're looking at human trafficking crime here.
Officials say the truck had no air conditioning and the victims no water. Saturday's temperature reaching 100 degrees. According to a U.S. official, the 18-wheeler may have been carrying up to 100 undocumented immigrants over the border.
It's very sad. I mean, people coming from other countries trying to make a better living here.
Authorities say the discovery came when a store employee contacted police after being approached for water by a man who had been in the back of the truck.
Checking the video from the store, we found that there were a number of vehicles that came in and picked up a lot of the folks that were in that trailer that survived the trip.
Police arrested the driver of the truck, 60-year-old James Matthew Bradley Jr. Prosecutors plan to file a criminal complaint against Bradley in federal court. As investigators search for others who may have been involved, Texans gathered at a vigil to honor the victims.
There is a lesson that people take away from how San Antonio responded. It is that we respond first with compassion.
Overseas now, at least 24 people are dead and 40 wounded after a suicide car bombing in Kabul. The blast happened early this morning near the home of the deputy chief executive of the Afghan government. The Taliban has since claimed responsibility, stating that they were targeting buses belonging to the National Directorate of Security. A commuter bus carrying Ministry of Mines and Petroleum employees was also in the area at the time. The death toll is expected to rise. Over to Italy next, where 1.5 million residents in Rome are bracing themselves for 8 hours a day without running water following a severe drought. Authorities have ordered the city to stop pumping water out of a lake near Rome. Almost all of Italy has experienced significantly less rainfall than usual this year, with an ongoing heat wave making matters worse. Earlier this month, drinking fountains were closed in an effort to safeguard supplies. Water rationing is set to start in Rome this Friday. Dramatic footage to show you now out of South Carolina, where torrential thunderstorms rolling across the state have led to flash flooding. With cars fully submerged underwater and motorists stranded on the streets, the National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning for the city of Columbia, where entire roadways are blocked by water. The Columbia Fire Department posted on social media that they rescued a person who had been trapped inside of a vehicle. The rainy weather is expected to continue today. More on the breaking news out of Washington. Jared Kushner just releasing details of 4 contacts with Russians before and after the election. Kushner, of course, is Donald Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor. Today, he's facing a Senate panel as part of an ongoing probe into Russian meddling in the U.S. election. Kushner's talks with the Senator and Senate Intelligence Committee, they will be held behind closed doors today. He'll face another round of questioning by a House panel tomorrow. Kushner is one of the closest members of Trump's inner circle to speak with lawmakers involved in the Russia investigation. Donald Trump Jr. and former campaign manager Paul Manafort were expected to testify publicly, but negotiations are now underway for private talks instead. This after Trump Jr. confirmed all 3 men were part of a previously undisclosed meeting with a Russian lawyer last summer. And a high-profile Russian ambassador to the U.S. has ended his term in Washington. The Russian embassy announced Sergei Kislyak finished his assignment on Saturday. The official is a central figure in the investigation of alleged Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Kislyak has been the ambassador since 2008, and the announcement comes as the House prepares to vote on a Russian sanctions package.